This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you today. So when it comes to a fourth stimulus check, there's a big push for seniors to get a $1,400 fourth stimulus check. When it comes to Social Security increase, President Biden endorses a $279 per month increase for some Social Security recipients. When it comes to the stimulus package, Bernie Sanders says it needs to be at least $3.5 trillion in response to Joe Manchin's $1.5 trillion request. I'll play the latest video clip from Bernie Sanders, as well as a video clip from the White House responding to Joe Manchin's request of $1.5 trillion compared to the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, is saying that the U.S. needs to raise the debt ceiling or they will go into default in October and cause irreparable damage. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate these fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So when it comes for the push of a fourth stimulus checks for seniors, why one group says payments are vital. So this is coming from the Senior Citizens League, the TSCL, warning that the cost of goods and services is rising for people with fixed incomes months before next year's federal cost of living bump. So that's the COLA. They're saying that it could go up to 6.3%. And now they're saying that they want to have $1,400 checks for seniors as a fourth stimulus check, saying now the Senior Citizens League is mounting a campaign to urge Congress to pass a fourth round of stimulus checks that would send $1,400 payments to Social Security recipients only. What it's saying here in the petition, Social Security benefits are one of the few types of income in retirement adjusted for inflation, but soaring inflation has taken a toll on household finances of retired and disabled Social Security recipients. In 2021, Social Security benefits increased by 1.3%, raising the average benefit by only $20 a month. But about 86% of Social Security recipients surveyed say their expenses increased by much more than that amount. Basically saying, so even though they got a 1.3% increase, their expenses were a lot higher. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about seniors or people just on Social Security getting a fourth $1,400 stimulus check? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Speaking of Social Security, so Democratic proposal could reduce poverty by 3.3 million people, according to a study. So what's going on here is it's saying that a proposal in the emerging Democratic spending bill that almost nobody is talking about could lift millions of Americans' neediest people out of poverty, according to a new report. What it's saying here is President Joe Biden has endorsed the proposal and said he wants it to be part of the human infrastructure bill that Democrats hope to pass in the fall. On Monday, Urban Institute released a report suggesting that fully funding the initiative could reduce the number of Americans living in poverty by 3.3 million. So what it's saying here is that the proposal that would bolster supplemental Social Security income, or SSI, which provides direct financial support to people who live with disabilities or are elderly or who have minimal assets and income. So big kicker here, it's saying President Biden has endorsed the proposal and said he wants it to be part of the human infrastructure bill, which is that $3.5 trillion stimulus package. So how much can you get from this? What's going on? So the rest of the article mainly talks about how there needs to be an increase and how people on SSI have kind of been screwed over the years without increases. But what it comes down to here is increase the social, or what the proposal is that President Biden has endorsed, according to that article, increase the SSI benefits for unmarried people to 100% of the federal poverty level, or $1,073 in 2021. So if we look here, the federal poverty level per month is $1,073. For two people, it's $1,452. So basically, the way that math works out, it's $12,880 for the year is the federal poverty line. So they want to bring SSI payments up to that. So going from $794 to $1,073, that is a $279 increase. So basically, there's a few other things here. Increase the SSI benefits for married couples who both qualify to 200% of the federal poverty level, or $2,146 in 2021, increase non-wage income exclusion from $20 a month to $128 a month, and eliminate the policy that considers recipients who live in someone else's house to be receiving in-kind support, which would lower their benefit by a third. So these are the proposals that, according to this article here, President Biden has endorsed. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. This is just for SSI, Supplemental Social Security. It is not for all of the other Social Security recipients at this moment, but should it be? Is this good for SSI? Should it be for all Social Security recipients, the raise? Let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes to the stimulus package, so Bernie Sanders says House Democrats' proposal falls short on Medicare and dental benefits. So what he said here is, do I think we should take such a long time to implement dental provisions? No, I don't. He acknowledged that in the proposal it's complicated in its implementation, but added, I don't want to see it drawn out to as far as the House has proposed. So Bernie Sanders wants more. He even said that the spending plan should be $3.5 trillion at the very least. So what he said here is that $3.5 trillion is already the result of a major compromise, and at the very least, this bill should contain $3.5 trillion. So if it was up to Bernie Sanders, it would probably be a lot more. Here is the latest video clip of Bernie Sanders talking about the $3.5 trillion stimulus package.
In Bernie's world, let me outline your life. Before and after birth, parents get paid family leave.
I mean, when I look at this, I don't see how America could possibly like this.
You have every powerful special interest and their lobbyists flooding Capitol Hill trying to defeat this legislation.
Lawmakers may still be on recess, but it is clear that the lobbyists are already hard at work.
Up to age 3, the government helps with daycare. After age 3, youngsters get free pre-K.
It's just sickening. It makes you really sick to your stomach to
No, but
see
I
all
think-
this awful stuff in there.
You got the drug companies out there who charge us the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. They don't want us to lower the cost of prescription drugs.
This may be one of the biggest fights we've seen in Washington in decades.
You got the healthcare industry out there who doesn't want us to expand Medicaid.
And you, the parents, get expanded Medicare with dental, vision, and hearing paid for.
The Chamber of Commerce has been among the most vocal opponents of the bill, but it is certainly not alone.
You got the fossil fuel industry out there.
The Business Roundtable, led by the CEO of Walmart, is against it.
And you got the billionaire class out there who is going to do everything that they possibly can to make sure they don't start paying their fair share of taxes.
The Rate Coalition, which includes Lockheed Martin, Verizon, and Disney, is focused on fighting changes to the corporate tax rate in particular.
But if we stand together, we're going to beat those special interests and deliver for the working class of this country.
What are your thoughts on that video? Do you agree, disagree with Bernie Sanders? Let me know your thoughts. So in comparison to $3.5 trillion, Joe Manchin said he would support spending plan of at most $1.5 trillion out of the $3.5 trillion. This wasn't a public statement. Supposedly this is in private behind closed doors, but it did get leaked out that he wanted a lot less. And Schumer rejects Manchin's strategic pause on $3.5 trillion bill, and a lot of the other Democrats are rejecting Joe Manchin overall. So what they said here, what Chuck Schumer said here is, we're moving full speed ahead. We want to keep going forward. We think getting this done is so important for the American people. Basically saying that Joe Manchin is persuadable. They're not too concerned about him. As a result of Joe Manchin's requests, his pause, his decrease in the amount for the bill, Joe Manchin's approval rating drops as Senator rebuffs infrastructure bill. Here is a video clip from the White House in response to Joe Manchin's $1.5 trillion request.
There are reports that Senator Manchin will only support as much as $1.5 trillion in a reconciliation package. Has the president spoken to Senator Manchin, or does he have plans to? And would the White House accept a $1.5 trillion plan?
Well, first, Senator Manchin, of course, continues to be a very important partner to the president and the president's agenda, and we fully expected that there would be a range of negotiations in private sometimes they spill out into the public, and that is what is happening as we speak around components of the package. But we also know that this is a process that's ongoing, one that we just lived through over the summer, where there were many times where the agenda was called dead and it turned out it wasn't. I'm not going to read out any calls or engagements the president has with Senator Manchin. We engage with him on a regular basis from a senior level, including with the president, and we are looking ahead to getting this bill passed and moving it forward.
Entertain 1.5 trillion.
Again, I'm not going to negotiate from here. What the president is encouraged by is agreement about the need to lower costs for working families, from prescription drugs to child care to the cost of college to elder care, on the need to tackle the climate crisis, and on the need for corporations and the wealthiest Americans to pay their fair share in taxes. I would also note that whatever the size is, it's not actually accurate to call it any of these sizes, 1, 1.5, 2, 3.5. This is going to be paid for. That is something the president is committed to, something Senator Manchin has called for as well. And the real choice right now is whether you're going to lower costs for people in this country on elder care, child care, cost of college, or whether you're going to prevent or allow the wealthiest Americans and corporations to continue to pay the tax rates that are hardly fair moving forward.
I've been told you have to wrap.
Okay, go ahead.
So according to the White House, everything is going according to plan, that these type of things are made public but usually private. It's part of the ongoing negotiation. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Is Joe Manchin going to derail the entire $3.5 trillion stimulus package? Will it be $3.5 trillion? You think it'll go down just because of Joe Manchin? Let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on, let's talk about what's going on with the national debt. So Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, said U.S. is on track to default on national debt in October. Another headline here, Yellen warns of likely October debt cliff and incoming irreparable damage. And then this headline right here, Yellen urges Congress to raise debt limit, warns Pelosi about extraordinary measures running out soon. So what's going on here is Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Wednesday warned House Speaker Nancy Pelosi that the mere specter of U.S. default can have drastic consequences. Here is a video clip explaining more about what can happen to the U.S. if the debt ceiling is not raised.
Treasury Department is now warning that the U.S. could hit the debt limit as soon as next month. Now, Treasury has been using extraordinary measures to remain below the limit when it was reinstated on August the 1st. But in a letter to Congress, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said those measures are likely to be exhausted during the month of October. Now, that's on the early side of previous projections, which had put the deadline sometime in the fall. Now, Yellen warned that waiting until the last minute to suspend or increase the debt limit could cause serious harm to business and consumer confidence, raise short-term borrowing costs, and negatively impact the credit rating of the United States. She also urged Congress to raise the debt ceiling through regular order with bipartisan support. So Washington is now facing multiple urgent deadlines this month: the infrastructure bill, the social spending package, funding the government, now the Treasury Department adding the debt ceiling deadline to the mix.
So the debt ceiling is really interesting because we are trillions of dollars in debt. I think it's around 27 trillion as of now, which doesn't really affect our everyday life, but I guess they're saying that we could default and I guess America wouldn't get any more loans or credit, but I'm not really sure how that all plays into daily life. If America defaults, what does that mean? Do we owe China, trillions of dollars? Are they going to start repossessing stuff? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Maureen Simmons says, what good is fixing the infrastructure when the human aspect is left dangling in the wind? If people are hungry and homeless and broke, what good is having good infrastructure? Well said. People need to be taken care of as well. Shonda Parrish asks, we are giving money to parents with kids, to seniors. What about the disabled? Yeah, so disabled, like SSDI, is kind of left out. Looks like seniors are now part of the discussion in terms of a stimulus check. SSI is potentially getting that $279 per month raise. When it comes to disabled, like SSDI, yeah, just completely left out. Next question comes from Tony Herndon. Are these elected officials getting stimulus money that the public doesn't? Yes, they are actually. I wouldn't call it stimulus money. I would call it legal bribes or campaign funds or donations. But that's how a lot of politicians make pretty good money through campaign contributions, special interest money. Basically, a lot of the lobbyists are paying them. They get free hotels, free dinners, a bunch of other things. You know, they could say, hey, we'll give your son or daughter a $80,000 job, and they don't even have to show up to the job. So basically that's like giving them $80,000 per year type of thing. They get all types of benefits. So in terms of stimulus money, it may not be called stimulus money, but politicians are getting pretty good things, which is why pharmaceutical industries and oil industries kind of get their way with a lot of it. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully cheer you up a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hello guys, I just wanted to dress up so nice for you guys because I know you guys were gonna come on here. So guys, I just really love you. You guys make my day, and guys, don't do the things that you don't want to do.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. And I just want to take a moment to thank you for everything that you've done to make this channel so great, and thank you for being a part of the Wiseflies community. I really appreciate you watching, and if you're watching up until this point, you're definitely a VIP. That means you watched the entire video. So I just want to say thank you so much again for all of your support. Trying my best to give you these daily updates, keep it truthful and factual, and show you the sources. If you appreciate that, you know, I appreciate you as well. Anyways, if you want to check out any of my other videos, you could click up here for my other channels or down here for stimulus updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.